Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of strong Leo placements in your chart. I've kind of been trying to give a brief overview before I get started, especially with these videos. I know I do it for every video, but this in particular because I'm so freaking late. This has been a month. Mercury has been retrograde in Scorpio, or it was from Halloween night all the way up until November 20th. I have had quite some conundrums go down, especially in terms of technology. Phone broke, got a new one. That phone screwed up. Internet was out for 2 weeks. And of course it's the holiday season and I've just been super busy. I've been working a lot, trying to really keep everything together in the meantime, especially my sanity with everything that's been going on. So I apologize for being so late. And basically these videos are as titled. I'm going to make it from November 15th until December 15th. So it's going to be a full month overview. So I could be talking about things that have already happened. Or just the general energy in between this time period of what you could be dealing with or what is going on. That being said, this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Take what fits and leave the rest. Do not use what I am saying as fact if you don't actually know what's going on. Just don't do it. Don't use the story that I'm telling and try to fit it into yours to make it work or to make it answer any form of question that you have. I mean, if you have the information and it's there and what I'm saying is confirming that, then obviously, yeah, go along with it. So yeah, I wonder what's going on with you guys. Let me kind of take a moment. Huh. Okay. It's interesting. I saw like something being lit and then something like spiraling and shooting upwards and then exploding in the sky. So fireworks, right? It's not that I'm hesitant to speak as to whether or not this is a good or bad thing, but I think more so it might be the energy you possess right now. Right? I feel like fireworks have to be a really precise thing. I mean, making them is incredibly difficult. You have to be very, very careful with the way you measure the ingredients, put them together, manufacture them, and then even more so, if you want it to go off correctly, you have to make sure it's positioned in the correct way. I don't know, it's like all these things have to go together to make sure that you actually create a spectacular show. So maybe that's how you feel right now. Maybe your life is that. Maybe you're trying to get things together in order to make sure that whatever show you're about to display is something quite spectacular, something worth witnessing, or something worth seeing, or worth saying. So with that being said, let's get started. See what's happening for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for November 15th through December 15th. Whoops. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for November 15th through December 15th. Just kind of saw the tower peek up, so curiosity. You two are going to go up here. Right off the bat, we have Seven of Swords and the Chariot. You could be moving away from deceptive individuals, people, places, or things. I feel like too, this might be you using your intuition. Yeah. You might be moving forward away from something. And I think it's because whatever this is, it's almost like You've been waiting for something to change for a long time, and it's just not changing. I do think the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is actually tied to this energy and not this energy. I know that sounds weird because technically this energy was tied to you at one point in time, but I don't think it is any longer. Okay, but it is still in the background. It is still in the background. I keep paying attention to how yellow is in the background. And I do actually think, noticing that the yellow that is kind of like adorning the person in the chariot and how the wheels are yellow as well, you're using whatever has happened to help propel you forward. You're actually taking pieces or lessons from this experience to help you move forward. I also feel like there's still some hope attached to this, because with the Wheel of Fortune, I think it's you understanding that it's like it's not the right time. And you know you have to move beyond this. It's just, it's not the right time. I think this person still has a lot that they need to clean up or deal with. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I do think you're focusing on work. You're working on something. You're working very hard. And there is the Nine of Swords and the Tower in reversed. I knew the Tower was going to come out. I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to get back to that. I'm not even going to talk about it just yet. Let's pull one more card for your side. You know, I do think you have a lot of support around you at this time. I do think you have people who are meeting you where you're at. This doesn't even have to be romantic. I mean, if you are interested in somebody, by all means, this could be referring to a romantic connection or situation. But when it's the Two of Cups, it's more of like an emotional recognition to me. It's someone who sees you. It's someone who is willing to meet you halfway. It's someone who is willing to be there to share in an experience with you that does have healing attached to it, especially with the Caduceus here. There is a healing element to whatever this connection is. So it could be people in your direct environment that you're working with, or it could be people that you are spending time with who are kind of helping, they're helping your progression forward be easier or less painful. Because I do feel like with this energy over here, I mean, you really are moving away from a very, I don't want to say a dark energy, because I don't feel like this individual is a bad person. I feel as if this person's situation, whatever it is, it could be romantic, it could be friends, it could be your coworker, it could be a boss, it could be a family member, it could be a number of things, but whatever it is, the main impact it's had on you is it's created a lot of stress for you. There was a lot of secrets, there was a lot of either hidden motives or hidden information. Now with the Tower in reversed and the Nine of Swords here, I do feel like whoever this person is knows they fucked up. I do think there is a bit of regret and remorse attached to your movement forward, but I think the most important thing here is that I just want to look at these two. They're the only two cards that are in reverse right now. With the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, I'm going to call it like I see it. And when I see these two cards in the reverse, this person, I kind of feel sorry for them because they are postponing the inevitable. They're either trying to keep the tower from falling, or they're trying to do whatever they can to postpone these really big changes that they need to make personally in their lives in order to move forward as well. And I think that was something that might have been happening in this connection between the both of you, is because of the energy showing up as you working really hard, whether it's in business or it's in your friendships or relationships. The fact of the matter is that you've been working really hard on moving forward in whatever area of your life, maybe all areas. But I do think that the way that this energy ties in is that you just work hard, period. Especially when it comes to things that you care about or things that you want to put your time, energy, or effort into. You work really hard at it. You want to see it grow. You want to see it progress. And I think, I don't know if this person is progressing. That sounds really harsh, and it's not that they're not progressing. I feel like they're very resistant to the progress that needs to be made in their lives, but I think it's because they know deep down, and that's why there's resistance, right? When the Tower shows up in the reversed, it can be about spiritual enlightenment, but at the end of the day, I think it more so is about resisting change. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune is change. It cycles, things change, they grow, you release things, you get new things, or you allow something to change shape and form to grow into something better than what it was before through the lessons that you've learned in the situation. And it's not that this person's very scared of the changes that need to be made because they are huge. With the major arcanas here, you're all about it. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's move forward. I'm not afraid of change, even though you are a fixed sign. I think that you're kind of in this period of life where you're okay with changes. I think if anything, you're afraid of things not changing. And that's why you're moving away from this energy, because you don't want to be stuck in that. You don't want to be stuck in an energy of being attached to something that's afraid to change when you're not, or when it's something that you desire so strongly. Now let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers for this. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords here, please. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Let's clarify the Chariot. We have the Sun in reverse. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Nine of Cups. Let's clear. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're moving forward for sure. You are really craving progress at this time. You're craving growth. You're craving expansion. You are definitely wanting to experience this progress or these changes in quite a rapid pace. I think too, you could be looking for excitement in your life, whether that's through adventure, travel, expanding your awareness of what you're already dealing with in your life. Because I do think that, look, you leaving this situation behind or you moving beyond it, it doesn't make, you didn't want to have to do this. With the Sun in reverse, you did not want to do this. I do think that you experienced quite a bit of happiness in this connection. I think you had your fair share of stuff, but I do think overall you were very happy in this connection. And I do think that, you know, there is a part of you that's having to be a bit kind of fake it till you make it. I think you are having to be really strong in the face of adversity. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I feel like you keep getting so close. You keep getting so close to experiencing what the changes that need to be happening within this situation. They get so close every time. Like, wish fulfillment is right around the corner. Getting what you want is right around the corner. But what's holding it up is this other situation. This other situation, individual, whatever, I think there's a lot of distractions for them. Seven of Cups energy. It's someone distracting themselves so they don't have to make the changes necessary. So it's kind of like, okay, well, this isn't, you know, I don't want to have to make the changes necessary to acquire this, so I'm going to pick something else that's more suiting to my style to keep me where I'm at, or something that's going to be where I want to stay. But that's the thing, is that I think this person They might have turned down an opportunity that you gave them. There was something here where it's like, hey, I am offering you something that I have. I want to make this stable. I want to start things off on the right foot. I really do think that we could grow this in the right direction if we get on the same page. So here I'm offering you one of my pentacles. This person turns it down. So you're like, okay, you know what? Then I'm going to focus on doing what's best for me. I'm going to work hard for me. I'm going to invest in myself since you don't want to invest in anything in this situation. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to grow myself, and I'm going to just focus on me. You definitely had to be very strong and very logical in the action and choice that you took. I'm telling you, this was not easy for you. I think too, you're really having it's not that you're having to defend where you're at right now in your life, but I think you're almost having to defend it to yourself. There is this energy of feeling as if you need to defend what it is that you're doing for you. If not to others, then to yourself. It's almost like having to convince yourself that you deserve good things in your life. Which, I mean, like, come on, dude. Unless you're a totally horrible, shitty person. I think everybody deserves good things in their lives. Especially if you work really hard for it. Now let's see what's coming in with this Two of Cups and this Eight of Wands. Oh, you might have somebody moving towards you. Who is this person? Could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's definitely a water sign. Could be a water sign with air in their chart. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Now, let's see what's going on here. I think you might be hearing from this person soon. Which, thankfully, if it's when we're outside of the Mercury retrograde shadow phase period, you're gold. I think it's best to, you know, if we're going to talk about stuff and we're going to work things out, I really do think it needs to be done outside of that influence, just because information can be very confusing and very hidden during those time periods, and you probably aren't getting the whole truth. But I do think that this person has been thinking about what it is that you've either said to them or what it is that you offered them. They're definitely feeling very conflicted about it. They're totally in a standstill right now. Wheel of Fortune on the upright. Okay. I think another thing that has them conflicted is the fact that you probably have not reached out to this person. I think that's maybe what's starting to get them up in their head. It's like some time has passed since you offered them this. And I do think that you very much so, you definitely communicated something very directly. Like I said, it took a lot of strength for you to do this. You were not happy about having to do this. You did not want to sever this connection out of your life, but you had to. You really did. You had to. But I think what's causing the internal conflict for them now is the fact that you're not, no word, you're not doing a U-turn, you're not reaching out to them, you're not communicating with them. And I do think that in time, maybe even with the changing of the seasons, or let me see when this Two of Cups and this Eight of Wands is going to happen. What's the time frame for this Two of Cups? Okay, so you could be looking at 4 weeks. I definitely think that this is going to happen before the end of the year. And if it's not before the end of the year, I would say 4 months at the latest. if they keep holding on to the bullshit they're holding on to, it's going to take probably about 4 months. But if they actually start gaining some traction and some progress and really needing to communicate with you, or, have a strong desire to trying to figure out how I'm going to say this. It's interesting because I don't think this person wanted to turn you down. I don't think this person... There is a very strong bond or connection here between the both of you, and I don't think that this individual wanted to turn you down. But I think the greater issue within this situation is that you have moved into a period in your life where you were definitely more whole within yourself. I think you are going after what it is that you want out of life. And I don't think you're waiting for people to like catch up with you on that anymore. You're moving with the flow and the cycles and the changes. And I don't think this person is. I think this person would like to think that they do, but they don't. They actually kind of sit in some pretty stagnant waters for themselves. There's 5s, 7s, and 9s. There's a lot of resistance to change, a lot of resistance to making actual decisions. And here's what I have to say about choices and decisions. I've actually had some interesting arguments with people on this. I'm sorry, but not making a decision, doing nothing is doing something. Doing nothing, you're making a choice to opt out. And when you do that, that still has an effect and an impact on whatever it is that's going on with you. Whether it's with another person, job, family member, you opting out and you not doing anything is doing something. So I find it really funny when people say, well, I'm just going to not do anything and I'm going to let, life sort it out. Cool. Yeah, you're still making a decision. Like you're still doing something. You're still doing nothing is doing something. You're still causing an effect. I think in 2 weeks' time, something's going to pick up with this. I think that's when the gears are going to start clicking. For this person. This is when they're going to start having more of a desire to reach out. Yeah, could be around the holidays with the 4 of Wands. I think they're really hoping that you're not going to be on guard. Because I think you are highly protective of yourself at this time. But whatever it is, I think they're coming in fast. They definitely have something to say. I do think that they're changing. I think they're moving through some form of changes. What? I don't know if I could tell you, because what's happening with them right now, I think maybe there's an interesting situation where something is causing them a lot of tension and a lot of pressure. I think you are part of that equation, or I think whatever happened here is part of that equation. But it's almost like they just went through a really emotional period. Whether anybody else saw that, I'm not too sure, because this is very internalized. The resistance is very internal. I don't think anybody in their environment sees this. So they're excellent at hiding it. Because this is a lot of thinking. There's a lot of thinking, there's a lot of emotions, and there's a lot of trying to put all of that stuff into some form of logical format for them to really understand what it is that they need to be doing. But I think that's part of the problem, is that maybe their emotions have gotten them in trouble in the past, and now they're having to rely on, or they think that that means they need to fully rely on logic in order to make decisions, and they don't have to. They're kind of going about it the wrong way. And I think that's part of the lesson for them with the world. They're repeating something in this situation. I actually think both of you are, but I think you're gleaming wisdom out of, like, you're seeing the cycle and you're trying to break the pattern. And I think this person is resisting breaking the pattern. They're very scared to break the pattern because I don't think they quite know who they are outside of the pattern. They've been this way for a really, really, really long time. And if they are to make these changes, it would change everything, which is why I think they're resisting the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. They're very afraid of what would happen, I think, within their lives, within their social groups, within daily routine, within everything. And I think they do, like I said, they do understand this connection here. They do understand how important you are. Just like you understand how important they are. There's so much understanding here at the end of the day, but I think you're just at a point where you're like, look, it's very much so you can ride with me, we can do this together, but I'm not carrying you. I'm not carrying you, I'm not carrying this connection, I'm not carrying this, I'm not putting in all the work, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. It's not your responsibility. You feel like this isn't your responsibility anymore, which, proud of you. Because it's not. You are your responsibility. You are not responsible for this person or their actions. And I think, I'm not saying they wanted you to be, but I think that there's something here where it's like, this person just has a very hard time, and that's really all I have to say about it. This is difficult, but you're making progress. You might really have to like pep talk yourself. You might have to really help yourself get the energy to move forward, but you're making progress. And I think with every choice you make every day, you can continue that progress in a very beautiful way. And I do think you're moving into some really great stuff. As long as you can focus on making sure that you don't go back to the energy of being uncertain, because of how certain you are at this point. You know what you want, you know where you're going, and as long as you don't allow people to trip you up or to distract you from that, or to pull you back from that, or to make you second guess that, I think everything's golden. I do think, part of you, expect a surprise around the holidays, I will say that. With the Magician here, expect a surprise around the holidays. I do think that this person is going to show up. Whether it's through communication, whether it's physically, I do think this person's going to show up. Yeah, they're having a hard time. I also think that with the Nine of Swords and Justice, it is quite possible that they could be seeing the ramifications of their actions right now, or they could be moving through situations where they are being forced to see the ramifications of their actions, and now it's making them look at what happened between the both of you. This is actually some major shit. If I'm going to get briefly, like, kind of deep into it, I do feel like there's something very similar between the both of you in terms of, like, from a generational standpoint. This could be you guys having similar backgrounds. It could be you guys having similar stories. But you're changing the story. And I think they're really struggling with whether or not they can. They want to. I think they want to. I think they want to change the story, but they don't know how. There's something with this person that